What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Universal Mastery. Welcome to my channel. What I do here is I break down the occult sciences and I break them down in a very practical way so that you can use them and apply them in your life using your awareness. Okay? So let me just give you a little bit of an understanding of who I am. My name is Jeremiah Schwartz. I am a professional occultist. I am fully initiated in the system of Kabbalah. And I am studied when it comes to archetypal tarot, and I'm also studied when it comes to planetary energies and things in regards to astrology. Okay? That's just to give you a context of who I am. I am somebody who practices using the occult sciences, so you're not just getting this information from somebody who isn't actually getting real results with their magic. Okay? So the topic of today's video is going to be in regards to Kabbalah. It's going to be in regards to a certain aspect of it, in regards to Universe A and Universe B. So specifically what we're going to be talking about in today's video is secrets of Universe B. So I'm going to explain some things that you want to know about Universe B, and I'm also going to be doing a little bit of explaining of what exactly Universe A and Universe B is. If you're wondering, what that is, because I'm sure there's people that don't even know what Universe A and Universe B represents. And I'm also going to connect it back to Kabbalah so that you can see where the relevance of Universe A comes from in Kabbalah and Universe B comes from in Kabbalah. Okay? So without further ado, that's what we're going to be discussing in today's video. Once again, I'm going to be sharing some secrets on Universe B. Some things that are very valuable to know and could very well influence you to want to enter into Universe B once you hear what I have to share about it. Other than that, that's what we're going to be talking about. So if you want to know a little bit more about Universe B and the secrets, stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay, so first thing first, let's explain Universe A and Universe B. Okay, in a nutshell, obviously it can go very deep. There is a whole science and mathematics to the structure of Universe A and to the structure of Universe B. But in a nutshell, so that I can explain it to you in a way that's digestible and you can really understand it, Universe A is the realm of objectivity. Okay? Universe B is the realm of subjectivity. Okay? So these universes, Universe A and Universe B, are very prominent aspects of our physical reality. So you may have heard before that, in reality, here on Earth, there is a matrix, right? There are different dimensions that take an actual physical manifestation, meaning there's 1 dimension, 2 dimension, 3 dimension, 4 dimension, 5 dimension, 6 dimension, 7 dimension, 8, 9, and on. Okay, so when it comes to the current matrix of reality, there's 5 prominent dimensions that we want to be drawing our awareness to. Okay, so we have earth, fire, water, and air. These are 4 very prominent dimensional planes that are associated with the elements, as you saw, earth, fire, water, and air. These are 4 very primary dimensions that we want to try and understand. Okay? And then the 5th would be the spirit. So that is obviously vast within itself. The spirit dimension. Okay? That goes beyond. Okay? So what I'm basically trying to say is within this 5-dimensional plane that we live in, connecting to all the elements and going to spirit, which is beyond, that's where you can go higher, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 dimensions. There are these universes that reside within these dimensions. So you can think of a universe as literally being a filter for your consciousness. Okay, so it's kind of like this. You know, you have DC universe, and you have what is it? It's DC in Marvel, if I'm not mistaken, in regards to the two different types of superhero genres, right? You have two complete different universes. And this example that I'm giving is literally like right in front of your face, microcosmic manifestation of what I'm explaining between universe A and universe B. There are two different universes in regards to the DC universe, and I believe it was the Marvel universe, right? If I'm mistaken, please correct me in the comments. But I do know that there's two universes in regards to the superheroes in movies. So you can see one universe has certain types of superheroes, and there's a backbone storyline to that entire universe and between all of the characters within that universe, okay? And then you go from that universe, and then you look at this other universe. So let's say hypothetically it's the DC universe. Now we're looking at the Marvel universe, and you have different characters, and you have a different storyline that connects all these characters, underlying different storyline. These are two different universes that have complete different backboned storylines to them, right? Two different universes, DC, Marvel, but they both exist here on Earth, meaning I live here on Earth and I can observe both of these universes. Okay, you get what I'm saying? So this is the context that I'm trying to help you become aware of. So when you invest into one of these universes, so let's say you're a fan of Marvel and the movies, and there's a certain hero from the Marvel group that you really like, right? You invest with that character. You invest. It's almost like you see a little bit of an aspect of yourself within that character, or you want an aspect of that character within yourself, right? It's probably a little bit of both. But you start to really invest and gravitate towards that character. And you see the storyline behind that character, okay? And that's a whole paradigm, right? So like, let's use an example like Batman. You look at Batman, who lives in Gotham City, okay? That is its own paradigm within Gotham City that Batman exists within and experiences, okay? And then if you zoom out farther, you notice that the other heroes that are also associated with Batman live in their own cities or are doing their own things, and they have their own paradigms. And if you zoom back a little bit farther, for all the heroes that are associated with that one group, that one universe, whether it's like DC universe or Marvel universe, they all are interconnected, meaning all of their different stories and all the different cities can actually come together and intertwine with each other. Just like you have the Avengers, where everything comes together. Okay, everything intertwined with itself. Okay? So what I'm trying to get at is that the difference between universe A and universe B is not that one is real and one's not real, or one is right and one is wrong. They are just filters that affect your conscious awareness. So if you're existing in universe A, and I'll explain a little bit on what that means. If you're existing in universe A, your consciousness is going to be filtered through that lens of objectivity in universe A types of ideas, beliefs, understandings things of that nature. Now, same thing with universe B. If you are existing in universe B, then your conscious awareness is going to be filtered by more so subjectivity. Okay? Things are going to be presented to you in a subjective way. Okay? In a universe B type of way. So the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding is going to be more so subjective. Okay? Now, both of these universes, universe A and universe B, they both exist together. Okay? So it's not one or the other. They do both exist together. But they are different aspects of reality, and most humans exist in the universe A aspect of reality, where things are more so objective in regards to their perceptions, meaning it's more masculine based in regards to I do this to get this, to get this, to get this, to do this, and then if I do this, then I can get this. And not saying that everyone is 100% locked into an intelligent universe A type mindset. Obviously, like, there's tons of people that, you know, don't get a lot done. Okay? There's tons of people that, you know, don't do anything with their lives. Okay? So, but this is the overall mentality that we have. And if you look around, I mean, it's like, okay, you go to school, you go to high school, or you go to like, what is it, like kindergarten, then you go to middle school, then you go to high school, then you go to college. It's like structured. Okay? So, when we grow up in a society that is doing things in this structured way all the time, that trains us to think in that structured type of way, where it's like, oh, I got to do this to get this and this and this and get this and this and this. And it is that objectivity. It's like, oh, if I want to get in shape, I have to exercise. Now, obviously, there are polarities to objectivity, meaning there's people that understand it way more than other people. So there are tons of people that are clueless, tons of people that don't understand that in order to get this outcome, you have to do this certain thing. But the reality is they think in that generalized universe A type of way, where it's like, okay, you know, I wake up, I go on my phone, I look at what my phone says, I believe what my phone says, I believe what I'm told, I listen for orders, I listen for what to do next, and I do that. Like, this is universe A type of mindset. So the world that we live in currently is mostly universe A based in regards to how people perceive and how people think. Now, universe B is going to be a separate universe that only people can get into if they embrace subjectivity within themselves. So the soul within the human being, by its nature, is energetically attuned to universe B. So the soul within the human is subjective in nature. It's feminine in nature. You could think of universe A being related to the spirit, objective, masculine. Universe B is feminine, subjective, and related to the soul. Okay? So to get into universe B, obviously there are ritual techniques to do that. But overall, to get yourself into universe B, which means you're going from a universe A reality to a universe B reality. And to do that, there needs to be an energetic change within your energy field. Okay, so once again, as I'm saying, to get into universe B, you have to start being receptive. You have to be open to maybe you don't know everything. Or at least be open to the idea that there's things that you're not aware of that could be very valuable if you were aware of, but they come to you at the right time, which gives you a sense of, I'm gonna allow, you know, my intuition to guide me. I'm not gonna say, oh, if this doesn't equate to this, then it must not be real, or it must not be true, or I can't do this. The intuition is very intricate, and it's very precise, and it understands science on a much higher level than the conscious awareness does, and it will guide you in the right directions at the exact right times for the exact right reasons to a science. And that intuition primarily comes from the soul. And the soul is, once again, more so feminine, universe B, subjective. So we live in a reality where there's tons of people that don't understand their intuition, right? And there's a whole reason for that. I mean, when you look at Kabbalah, you go from the Sephiroth to the Qliphoth, and then the Qliphoth is where the soul gets shelled. And as I speak about this all the time on my channel, within time people will understand it. But the soul gets shelled in the Qliphoth, and that's what is being done to the mass collective. Once again, if you want to learn a little bit more about that, you can study my channel. And then you can start studying the Qliphoth and start understanding what it does, okay, and how it's used and how it's been used on the mass collective. But when you're someone like myself, who's studied it and understands it, you see why people would want to use it on the mass collective to stay in high positions of power. Now, I don't think that is the right thing to do by any means. I think that actually goes against evolution and goes against source if that's your role, just to mass collectively want to shell people. But at the end of the day, it's a part of evolution. It's going to happen. Okay? And it works. You know, that's why the richest people in the world, the 0.1%, that's why they use occult magic. That's why they understand the occult sciences. Because they use it. Okay? It's why they rule the world. Okay? So if you actually understand that, and you ask yourself that question, well, who actually rules the world? Who's actually getting results? It's the people that use Kabbalah, ancient knowledge of Kabbalah, the real Kabbalah, not the inverted one, where the pillars are inverted, the real Kabbalah, they use that. And they use it strategically. Specifically, the Qliphoth, to shell people so that they don't have that intuition. Because that's where their potential threats could be. Okay? So, once again, the reality we live in is most people don't attune themselves to universe B. Okay, so most people are living in this objective state where their intuition is suppressed, and that's why they need steps to do everything. They need, if you got to do it like this, and you got to do it like this, and it's got to be done like this, and if it's done wrong, then it's not right. If it's done wrong, then it's not right. So that may sound right, okay? That might sound like, oh, okay, if it's done wrong, then it's not right. Okay. But what if you did it that way for a reason and you just aren't aware of that reason yet? This is a universe B perspective. This is subjective. Because on the outside to everybody else, that's wrong because it looks wrong. But what if what looks wrong is actually correct in this moment? And governed by a much higher science that you're not consciously aware of. So that's the art of universe B. So most people don't come from that perspective. Once again, they need to be told what to do so that they can have security within themselves, feeling secure. Oh, I'm following this, you know, these instructions, so that means I'm going to get this result. When really, the result ends in mediocrity. Okay? So this is why the mass collective really exists mostly in universe A. But once again, to attune yourself to universe B requires letting go. This is where all these books come into play, like Eckhart Tolle and any other of the spiritual mystics or spiritual people that talk about letting go. This is the concept of universe B. It's receptive. Okay? Let go of your lock on to reality. Let go that you think it has to be like this. Let go that it has to be done this way. Let go of that, because you being locked in that mindset is not going to allow your energy field to take you farther into your evolutionary journey. Hence, you won't get into universe B. Okay, you have to be receptive. And guess what? Females rule in universe B, because by their nature, their biological nature, females have a strong intuition. Females have a strong connection to their souls, meaning they feel their souls on a deeper level, okay, than the typical man does. And this is just a biological thing. This is why women are good with social dynamics. They're good with understanding other people's feelings. Understanding, okay? Women are receptive, okay, which means they absorb, they take in, and that's what gives them the understanding. So as a human, and I'm not saying that, all women are like that. The world that we live in currently, most women are locked into a universe A mindset, okay, where they're trying to be logical. And you see it, it's like inverted. Like I see it all the time where there's relationships of a man and a woman, and it's like the woman is trying to prove to her man that she's logical and that she is smart and that she's smarter, or whatever the case is, like that she can be more logical than he can. And then the man gets attracted to that. When that is completely inverted, to me, that's disgusting. I would never talk to or invest in a girl that is trying to be logical, like more logical than me, and trying to get me to be attracted to her by trying to prove that she's able to be logical. I don't want that for my woman. I want my woman to be very feminine. I want her to be very receptive. I want her to be embodying that energy of just letting go and going with her intuition and following the flow of nature. That's what I'm attracted to. And that's proper, okay? That's how it should be. And I'm not saying that, there's a problem with being logical or analytical as a woman. Obviously, if that's built into your being and that's who you are, then that's who you are. But you do want to be aware that we live in a universe A dominant reality where there are people that have lost touch of their souls, which is their connection to their intuition. So everything's got to be objective. And remember, there's different polarities to objectivity. So just because I'm saying they're objective does not mean they're smart. Because a lot of people think that objectivity just means you're smart, because it's like I do this and I get this. But no, I'm talking about like objective as in there's orders, right? Like you wake up, you look at your phone, you scroll, you read what you read, you do what you do, you go to sleep, and you repeat the same process over and over and over and over. There's levels to objectivity. So Mass Collective is on that lower level of it, okay? Because if they were on the higher level, they would realize that there's another side to reality, which would be universe B. You have to be receptive, okay? This is what is known as stepping into the unknown. Okay, how many times have you heard that? Stepping into the unknown, letting go. This is the gateway to get your energy body attuned to universe B. Okay? And remember, as I was saying, universe B is dominated by women. So when you get into universe B, whether you're a man or a woman, you're going to start noticing that women, or the feminine current specifically, that female nature within the human being, which understands evolution, that is going to be your next primary guide. Meaning when you're in universe B, you have to listen to that feminine current, because that feminine current is what guides you on your path. It's what guides you to your destination. It's your soul connection. And the more that you are receptive and you start to understand the feminine nature, which is what? What is the feminine nature? It's chaos, right? So what is the art of magic? What is the art of magic? Mastering chaos. And guess how you master chaos? You be receptive to it. Not let it infest in your mind and then impulsively make decisions. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Not running a million miles per hour. Taking a deep breath, standing still, observing, and being receptive to what the chaos is showing you. Because within chaos is all potential. So when it comes to Universe B, that's the realm of the clip-off. If you're initiating. Okay, so when you're initiating through the clip-off, meaning you're traveling through it to gain power, that's Universe B. The tunnels of Set, which are on the back side of the Sephiroth, that's Universe B. So when you go to initiate yourself into the clip-off and then travel through the tunnels of Set, you're now setting up a ritual, or at least making a deal with yourself that you will be entering into Universe B. So you're going to start stepping into the realm of chaos, females, feminine energy, and the art of receptivity. So you're going to have to adopt these Universe B qualities to make it and travel through Universe B. And the more you are in Universe B, the more you start to understand it. And when you start to understand that there are aspects of reality that you can't necessarily control, the more you allow yourself to let go of that and just simply observe it, a funny paradox happens where you actually start to gain control over it. Okay, it has to do with the subconscious and the unconscious mind. It's a weird paradox. Just like, how do you create attraction for somebody? Well, the worst way to create attraction for somebody is being completely pressed over them. Saying, hey, do you love me? Do you like me? Do you like me? I like you a lot. I really do. You're amazing to me. Oh my God, you're the best thing I've ever seen. That repulses a human being. It's, you would think if we lived in a reality where it was just like straightforward, you would be able to tell somebody how much you love them whenever you get that feeling of how much you love them all the time. But the reality we live in is if you always did that, the person's going to get a little creeped out by you. They're going to be like, okay, yeah, I get it. Like, I understand, but I don't need you to tell me all the time. Like give me a break. Let me breathe. This is like a little weird. Just like if I said, hey, there's some treasure. If I hopped on the camera and I said, hey, look, guys, I found this treasure. It's located in this certain location. I'm going to tell you exactly where to find it, and you're going to be rich, right? If I just came out and I said that, a lot of you are going to not believe me. You're going to be like, why? Okay, well, if you found this treasure, why are you telling us? Like, why are you not just taking it? Why are you telling everybody? Like, don't you want to be rich? Like, that's the human nature. We think that. That's the first thought. It's like, okay, you're telling me that there's this treasure here, which means I'm going to have to exert time and energy to go find it. So now I have to ask myself the question, why are you telling me there's treasure here? If you found it and it's so valuable, why are you not harnessing it and keeping it for yourself? Why are you telling me? That's weird. Why are you telling me? It just goes against human nature. Otherwise, let's say, there's been word around town that there's a treasure, right? There's a treasure buried somewhere, and I just happen to live around that area. And the next thing you know, I'm wearing all this fancy stuff. And then I sit on the camera and I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't know where any treasure is. I haven't heard of that. I have no idea about any treasure. I don't know where that's located. You're going to think I'm lying. You're going to be like, yeah, you definitely do know where the treasure is. And yeah, you would definitely believe me then, if I didn't tell you. I knew where the treasure was. Then you would want to ask me, where's the treasure? Where's the treasure? I know you have the treasure. Like, tell me where the treasure is. It just is a lot more believable because it's human nature. So the same concept in regards to letting go and attuning yourself to Universe B. It's weird. It's like you have to surrender your conscious self-importance aspect of yourself that wants to hold on and control everything and make it how you make your reality how you think it should be, meaning you project your perfect world on everything and everyone. But the reality is that there's underlying universal cosmic reality that has ebbs and flows, positives and negatives. And that is universe B, feminine in nature. Okay? That's why the mother is so important. Okay? The mother who nurtures nature, Mother Nature. Okay? So, with that knowledge, letting go, you then learn how to observe the aspects of yourself and your reality that you can't necessarily control, which is uncomfortable. It is very uncomfortable. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like it's a walk in the park and that it's fun to do. It's uncomfortable, right? Just like when you sit in silence for 30 minutes long, it's uncomfortable. Like, you want to move. Your body wants to move. You want to do something. It's just a part of our social conditioning. It's a part of how we are as humans, right? Now, if every single human being had a moment in their day, every single human being, if every human had a moment in their day where they sat in silence for 30 minutes, then it wouldn't be as uncomfortable, because everyone would know that this is what humans do, because it would be the reality. It would be a different reality. But as I'm saying, that's not the case. So people like to move all the time. Universe A, objective. Well, why am I not doing anything? What do I do right now? I have to do something. I got to do something. I got to keep myself distracted. When universe B is just like, I'm just going to sit in silence right now and just observe my subconscious and unconscious thoughts. Right? So once again, the more you observe universe B, reality, the more you understand it. Okay? And the more you understand it and become aware of the chaotic aspects of the universe and yourself, a weird thing takes place where you actually start to gain control over it. Now, the control isn't just like, boom, out of nowhere, you have full control over it. It's very slow, but very surely you will start to grasp control over these aspects of reality. So it starts with letting go, and it starts with completely just being receptive and embracing. And then that energy starts to embody itself within you. So your energy field starts to become more receptive, more open to things that you may have not known, right? You start to, what? Master your ego, meaning your ego wants to see it this way. It's always saw it that way. It thought it is this way. And now you have to play with the idea that maybe it's not that way. Maybe the way you saw it was false, and maybe it's a different way. And be receptive to that. Be open to that. And the more you train your energy field to do this, the more effectively you can evolve and the more powerful you can become. So obviously, the more you embrace universe B and receptivity, the more you get to actually control the unconscious and subconscious realm. But that comes within time. Okay? So, with that being said, now let's talk about what is universe A and universe B in regards to Kabbalah. So I'm going to pull out the tree. Okay. This is universe A. Okay, first thing first I want to say is this is the wrong Kabbalah. Okay, this pillar and this pillar should be swapped, and all the spheres with it should be swapped. This is the biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes in the occult. And it was not an unintentional mistake. This was done dating back to the Egyptian times. There was an inversion that took place with the actual tree of life, which is this, and that inversion was done for the intent of trapping people, because when you switch these pillars, you're no longer working with the front of the tree. So with it being like this, this is not the front of the tree. This is the back of the Sephiroth, because this is the left pillar. My left hand is over here. You see this? You're looking at me directly, right? You're looking at me. This is my left hand. So this is how the left pillar should be on the tree, right? This is my right hand. This is how the right pillar should be. Because you're facing me. I'm facing you. I'm not making the video facing the back or facing the moon poster I have. So you'd be looking at the back of my head. So what you're looking at here is not the real front of the tree. Remember, this is my left hand. You're not looking at the front of this tree. This is the back of the tree. And what resides on the back of the tree is Universe B and the tunnels of Set. So you see all these different archetypal tarot pathways. Well, this is the whole system of initiation. Okay? Archetypal experiences that you actually go through. Okay? So when this pillar inversion happened and was promoted, now everyone that gets into Kabbalah and jumps right into using occult orders that use this tree, because if you study, like if you look it up anywhere, get any occult books, they all have this inverted tree, except for A.E. Waite, who is a high-level occultist within the Golden Dawn, but then turned into a Christian and started exposing some of the biggest secrets, and obviously had nothing but the intent of telling the truth because he turned into a Christian. The book is called The Holy Kabbalah. You think I'm joking around? Look it up. Get the book. Study it. Read it. It talks about the inversion. And once again, one of the highest level occultists in the Golden Dawn, which was like the foundation of occultists in our today's time. Okay? Like all the other occult orders that you probably know about were based around the Golden Dawn. Okay? Aleister Crowley, for example. So once again, on the backside of this is the tunnels of Set. So whenever you're using the inverted tree, it dumps you into the tunnels of Set. Okay? Prematurely, when you're not ready. You think you're working with the front, but you're really working with the tunnels. So these are the pathways, the archetypal pathways. But when you're working with the back of it, now they're the tunnels of Set. Okay, so they're the regular archetypal tunnels. Now they're the shadow tarot. So when you're in the tunnels of Set, these turn into the shadow tarot, which are the negative aspects of the archetypal tarot, okay? Which is not fun, okay? It's challenging and it's dangerous. It really is dangerous. It's dangerous to your conscience, dangerous to your health. And there are experiences where, people, get into Kabbalah and then they find out their life goes to shit, because they got thrown into the tunnels of Set and then shelled in the clip-off. So that is that. Okay, so let me explain what Universe A and Universe B is. Okay, so Universe A is going to be the Sephiroth. Okay, this is the top of the tree. This is the realm of emanation. This is where your spirit emanates. Now, Universe B is going to be the backside of the Sephiroth, where the tunnels of Set are. And you can think of it like the shadow aspects of these spheres. And then the next universe. So I'm actually going to connect to the other Universe A. So I'm sharing information with you that even a lot of high levels of occultists don't even know. So once again, Universe A, Sephiroth. The back of the tree is Universe B, the tunnels of Set. Now we flip down here. Now we're looking at the clip-off. So these are the hell realms of reality. So there is a front side of the clip-off and there's a back side of the clip-off. This is something that a lot of occultists don't even know. So the front of the clip-off is in Universe A. Okay, that's something that a lot of people don't know. They think that the clip-off in its totality is Universe B. But no, it's Universe A. There's a front side of the clip-off, and that's Universe A. So these are the hell realms that the souls get shelled in. So if you ever did any of that Kabbalah practice or did any rituals from the Golden Dawn and tried to initiate yourself as a magician, your soul is in one of these hells. Okay? The average human being's soul is in the middle place, which is right above Napaht and right below Malkuth, which is the middle place. And to get to the middle place, there's a stargate, okay, a spiral staircase that takes you to that first shell. The middle place. And that's just your basic shell where you become a screaming face on the entity, the chaos entity Yaldabaoth. okay? Where basically all that means is that you're now powerless and you just scream, point the finger, blame society, blame life for happening, or blame life for doing what it did to you. You're a victim, okay? That's essentially what the middle place is. It's just the average person who's like, I give up on my purpose, I give up on my reason for being here, I'm just going to settle for what the government allows me to have, and all those things. Screaming face on the chaos entity. Oh, it's not fair, I don't like it, you know, I got to wake up at this time, go to work, I hate going to work. It's like, just that acceptance, right? That's the average person. So that would be the middle place. Then when you get into the lower realms, these are where the hells get more intense. So if you've been doing Kabbalah work or any rituals out of any of these occult orders books, or if you've been doing heavy chakra work, the 7 chakra system work, that can prime you to get into one of these lower hells, because you're actually working against your energy body and you're opening up doorways that can easily thrust you in here. Because remember, you start here and then it inverts you because you think you're working with the real Kabbalistic tree, but you're actually working with the back. So you go from universe A and then get dumped into universe B. So your energy field actually doesn't transition, doesn't change. It just takes your universe A reality and then puts it within the universe B. So basically what that means is you are now in a reality where the female energies, the feminine energies dominate, where receptivity is the only way forward, the realm of chaos, universe B, but you're locked into a universe A mindset, trying to be objective and trying to make sense out of things that don't necessarily make sense. So you can imagine that's hellish in nature. It's torture. It's like trying to, it's like someone telling you 2 + 2 = 5. And the only way you're going to get the door to open is if you tell the person, okay, 2 + 2 = 5. But you're refusing to just allow yourself to say that. So you're like, no, 2 + 2 is 4. And the door remains closed. And you can never open the door. It's like, no, 2 + 2 is 4. I know it's 4. I know it's 4. I know it's 4. And the person's like, okay, I'll keep the door closed. Until I can get you to say 2 + 2 is 5, then we'll open the door. But the person's like, no, I'm right. Trust me, I'm right. 2 + 2 is 4. And then they just stay there. They just stay stuck. They don't get to open the doorway. So it's like, that's the reality of taking universe A and putting it into universe B. You want to get receptive before going into universe B. So you want to make sure your energy body is preparing itself to go into that. So concepts like letting go, being more receptive, observing the feminine nature, right? The ebbs and flows of reality. That all trains you to be ready to enter into universe B rather than just getting dumped into there, okay? So when you're working with the inversion, it dumps you into it because you're already working with the backside. So you're thinking you're working with Kabbalah about to initiate yourself, or you're thinking you're doing chakra meditations with the 7 chakra system, and really you're just screwing yourself over, okay? Because this whole system is based on inversion. So it dumps you right into the tunnels of Set, universe B, okay? And you don't know how to handle it. So then once you're in that universe B and you enter into the tunnels of Set, then within the tunnels of Set, there's diseases, there's delusions, there's torture, suffering on a psychic level, spiritual level. And then what that does is it primes you to then either get popped into the middle place or one of the lower Klipothic realms. So you have all these different lower Klipothic realms. And once again, the hell realms on the Klipothic tree are way more hellish than just the middle place. Okay? They're more intense. So they would get popped into the universe A Klipoth. Okay, that's where their soul would get shelled. And their new reality will be seen through a lens of whatever hell they're stuck in. So if it's the middle place, then their new reality is just, yep, I'm a victim. You know, my neighbor's a victim. My coworkers are victims. We're all victims. We're all slaves to the system, whatever. You know, it just is, it's a part of life. You know, we got to do what we're told. That's the middle place. Now, when you're getting into like these lower realms, every one of these is associated with a different hellish reality, paradigm. So if you're locked into one of these, if your soul is locked within one of these realms, you're dealing with the one, well, even on top of it, I mean, there's archdemons associated with all of these realms too. So the archdemon of that specific realm is afflicting you, and that affliction is specifically connected to what the realm means. So yeah, so your reality would be seen from the lens of the hell realm that you were popped into. Okay? And that would be universe A. Now, when you're a universe B initiate, somebody who's on your evolutionary journey, trying to improve yourself, trying to achieve source, which is high magic. Look at that. Ding. Trying to achieve source, which is high magic, as I said right before my phone confirmed. And it's 7:07 right now. You are intentionally entering into universe B, so naturally, before you just get thrown into it, your body will attune itself to be prepared to be able to get into universe B. So essentially, you've got to go through this Sephirothic system, which your spirit travels through. Okay, your spirit will travel through the Sephiroth. Your soul most likely is in the clip-off, shelled somewhere. This is for everybody. Like it was with me too. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to sit here and just tell you like your soul is shelled. Ha ha ha. Like this is majority of human beings. Like literally majority. Your soul has been shelled throughout life. Okay, this is what indoctrination is, right? So the soul is shelled. So the journey is getting back in tune with your soul or reabsorbing the lost fragments. So the spirit, universe A, can travel though. So the spirit is what takes initiative to start traveling on your own spiritual journey. So when you make that intent that that's what you're going to do, obviously it takes you on a little bit of a journey. You know, you have to make sacrifices. You got to start looking at areas of your life that you need to improve and start taking action on it. That's directly associated with the spirit, taking action. So then you're going to be moving from here, from the physical plane to here, your spirit, then to Hod, ruled by Mercury, Netzach, Venus, Tifereth, Gavura, Chesed, and then you have an experience from here, Chesed, to come back to the center, Tifereth, and then cross the abyss. If you see this pathway right here, this is the pathway of the High Priestess. You cross the abyss of Universe A on the Sephiroth. And what tries to stop you in this abyss, location of the abyss, is the chaotic masculine force, Shugal. Okay, so once again, we're seeing a connection between Universe A and masculine. Okay, so it's a chaotic masculine force. And I went through this whole experience. I remember on my journey when this happened to me. And I remember who the person that Shugal was really manifesting through. And I remember. And it was really fascinating to me because I didn't know about this when I was going through it. Because remember, this is in the DNA. You don't need to know about this to be going through this, which is the crazy part, right? Like human beings just exist in this system. That is literally, this system of Kabbalah is a part of our multiverse. Okay, it didn't always used to be like that, but at some point, going back to the Egyptian times, this system was put into play. Even around the Atlantean times is when the Kabbalah wasn't really the way it is. It wasn't around during the Atlantean times. Mark Allen Smith talks a little bit about that, and I've heard other people talk about it too, where there was a point in time during the Atlantean times where there was really no filter to occult power. And certain people were getting to really high levels of knowledge and power. And what that led them to doing was developing certain types of technologies that ended up really kind of just destroying the human being, the human race. It kind of just destroyed the purpose of evolution, because everything was everything you could think of was revolving around technology. So then that's when Atlantis, went down, and Egypt sprang out of that, and there was a whole new filter in place for achieving high levels of occult power, and that filter is this, Kabbalah. And we don't necessarily know how exactly that was put in place. It may be something way beyond, well, I'll say this, it is definitely something way beyond what most people understand of how this system got put into the multiverse. But it is there, and it's been here for a while, and the Egyptians used it to make their societies last for 5,000 years. So when you learn how to master the real tree and control it, then you can rule. And guess who did that in the Egyptian times? The pharaohs. Okay, that's why the pharaohs were the leaders of their tribes, or their kingdoms, or societies, whatever you want to call it. And they kept everything in alignment with evolution for the most part, for the ones that lasted as long as 5,000 years. That's a long time to keep a society going. A very long time. So that means they had to have known something cosmically to keep things in balance like that. Okay, and that's the understanding of this system. Okay, so once again, the spirit travels through it. It's in the DNA, right? People are going through this right now. They don't even know it. So once again, you would cross this abyss, and this crossing would be the experience of death, because you're crossing death, D-A-A-T-H, which destroys a certain aspect of your ego, in a certain aspect of your self-importance, and attunes. Every time you go into the abyss, which is not a fun place to be, you don't want to be in the abyss, only in evolutionary purposes, only for initiatory purposes is when you want to be in the abyss, and when you have to go there. But when you go through this crossing on the front side, universe A, it attunes your energy field to be able to withstand universe B. So then, hypothetically, you would cross, you get to Kether. So this would be the spirit awareness of source. So you'll have this inkling of an idea that you're being guided by higher powers in regards to there's a big evolutionary thing that is going on. That's what Kether would represent. Source. But remember, this is not the realm of your soul, so this is your spirit recognizing this. This is you recognizing that source, there is something that's guiding you. Okay, this is something that is taking you in the direction of your evolution. And then this would attune the energy field to universe B. So once you hit Kether, you would then enter back into death, the abyss, and then that would pop you out into universe B. So death is a gateway in the abyss. So in the abyss, there is a location that you can astrally travel, and this is something that you don't even need to know really how to do. Like, it's not like you have to visualize it and see it happen. It can naturally happen if you've gotten to this level of initiation or spiritual self-development. But there's a gateway in death. Death. That's why death is so prominent in all these other cultures where they use sacrifices, because death is a formula. It's an energetic formula for 100% transformation, or 100% manifestation. Once again, that's why they sacrificed to certain spirits, to gods, and to people, because it meant 100% manifestation. And the energetic science behind it shows it. It's a real formula. It really does create 100% transformation or 100% manifestation. So within death, now that you've crossed, your energy field is now getting more attuned to Universe B, so you can enter into it. And entering into death to then approach Universe B as an initiate, someone who's going into Universe B for evolutionary purposes to gain power and awareness, that takes a certain level of ritualistic triggering, or based off intent, you may run into somebody who is going through those initiations, and then they give you an opportunity and they pull you in, energetically speaking. But that's very, very rare. Very rare that that will ever happen. But for me and the three other people that went through Qliphothic initiations and tunnels of set initiations and have all successfully crossed the abyss, that was their case. I was the one who had initiated the entire ritualistic sequence for myself to start journeying in the Qliphoth and through the tunnels of Set. And sure enough, I had met three other people that were very powerful by nature, and I guess their intent was to go through that same level of self-development and transformation. So they met me, and I energetically pulled them in with me, just naturally. Just them connecting with me on that soul level, it pulled them into the initiations. And then they started having similar experiences that I was having. And then we all were like studying, what certain Qliphothic spheres were representing, what was manifesting in our lives, what was going on with the certain tunnels that we were working through, and all these different things that were very fascinating to study and realize. So in the Sephiroth, you have that opportunity that once you cross this, a lot of people think that when you cross the abyss, you now work through Binah, Chokmah, and then you get to Kether. But really, this supernal triad doesn't exist to the person who hasn't fully initiated on the tree. So what I mean is that, no, when you cross, you don't go to Binah and then Chokmah and then Kether. That in order to access the real supernal, you have to fully initiate through the Qliphoth first. So you're not even actually fully accessing Kether. You're really just crossing the abyss and getting a hint of what Kether is, a hint of what source is. Because in order to really access the source within yourself, you need your soul for that. You need to have transformed your soul. So this is not the realm of souls. This is Universe A, the realm of spirit. So these two formless spheres, you can't reside in them or gain their full power until you've gone into the realm of souls, Universe B Qliphoth, and reabsorbed those lost fragments and all the dark matter energy powers that reside in the Qliphothic shells. Okay, so as I said, you would cross the abyss. That's the main idea, is just crossing it, getting a hint of that source, which should lead you to wanting to uncover your soul. And then you have the opportunity to pursue whatever ritualistic activities that could potentially initiate you into the Qliphoth. So this is around the time when people come across the information of the Qliphoth, and they start studying about it, and they start studying about the darker side of evolution, the darker side of the occult. There's something that draws them towards it. It's because there's that soul within the person that's wanting to take their spiritual evolution seriously, that's telling them that in order for them to get to their highest potential, they have to get into Universe B and have to get into the Qliphoth and get to the tunnels of Set. So once again, the spirit travels, then it crosses the abyss, touches the Kether, and then it has an opportunity to enter into the abyss. See, if you can cross, and if you don't ever take that opportunity, then you'll just come back down, and you'll just, you'll use these spheres. But this is just your spirit. So it's not that big of a deal, right? But if you cross and then take the opportunity, then you can pop into that hidden doorway within Dath and then get into the clip-off, right? You would get at the very beginning of the clip-off, which would be Nama. And then you would work through that first tunnel of Set, which is not connected to the clip-off on the bottom. It's in the same universe, but it's still associated with the top tree. So it would just be this pathway on the backside, which is Vantafaxath, and then you would proceed from there. Okay? And this is the clip-off. And you would be in the Universe B clip-off. And then once you get here, once you've taken that opportunity, and you're in Nama, now you start traveling. So you would work through, boom, you get here, which is Gamaliel. Then you would come over to Samael, Arab Zarak, Dagirion, Golachab, not Netzach, Gog Shablah. And then you go through the same process. You come back, you cross this abyss, which is dealing with Karanzon, the feminine chaos force that tries to stop you. Okay, Karanzon. You have to deal with that. And I've explained this many times in other videos. This is extremely challenging to do and takes years to accomplish all of this stuff. But then once you finish that, crossing the abyss, then you come over to Sethariel, then Gagil, then Thamael. This is where you get crowned as Lucifer. You get Lucifer's crown, which means you have mastered the dark matter energies of reality on Earth, of this 5-dimensional system that exists in our multiverse. So now you command demons, you command archdemons, you command dark matter energies, and you command all kinds of energies. You are a commander now. You are the light bearer that went down, that dropped down to hell, and then took complete rulership and ownership of hell, which is the archetype of Lucifer. It's also the archetype of the hidden aspect within chaos that secretly destroys chaos. Okay, that's also what Lucifer represents. He dropped down into hell, didn't really tell anybody he was going to completely take it over, and then took it over, okay, and ruled. So when you really work through the system, you're doing Source's work, because the people that have been utilizing this system to get people's souls in it, to harvest their soul energy from suffering, and feed their chaotic entities like Yaldabaoth in the middle place, and all the Elohim, all the Enochian angels, all the chaos avatars. When you drop down in here as the archetype of Lucifer and you get crowned as Lucifer, now you start destroying the chaos entities under the eye of Source. So you are a Source avatar now. You are the literal Kalki who descended from Source to kill evil. And as you do that, you gain power and you gain rulership and you burn down this inverted system, the swapped pillars, and then you do Source's work in regards to share the real system. You know, the stuff that I teach on my channel. Like I'm telling you guys, this is all inverted. And there's a proper way to initiate yourself. This is Source that does this through me. You know, if I had the choice, I wouldn't talk about this stuff, right? I would rather just do my own thing. I'd rather build my own kingdom, right? But that Source aspect within me loves sharing this, right? And it wants to share this, and that's why I'm one of the reasons why I'm here. You know, on top of building my kingdom. So that would be Universe B. And now, once you've mastered Universe B, everything is different. Okay, when you cross the abyss of Universe B, you have permanently changed your soul, okay, into a black hole, which I have a whole video on. You can go check it out on my channel. And the black hole constantly is sucking in energy, which is a negative torsion field pulling inwards, going counterclockwise is how you collapse it. Once again, you can figure out the science behind that on my my YouTube video where I explain it. But that what it does is it turns your soul into a black hole, which is constantly sucking in energy. So you're constantly now fully and permanently receptive, and you're permanently locked into a universe B being. So now, when it comes to doing rituals, since you've crossed the abyss and have linked with Source, which was outside of the abyss, where the Thamiel is, and then you have the three negative veils, Ein, Ein Sof, Ein Sofer. Well, now, since you're in the realm of Universe B, where the souls are, your soul has completely transformed, and it has linked with Source itself, which is evolution. So your Source not only has transformed into this black hole that's constantly sucking in energy, but it's also permanently connected, like a Bluetooth, to evolution and to Source. That's why black holes exist in space, because there's a purpose behind them, and they're extremely powerful. Extremely. So the soul does this. So now, when it comes to rituals, you don't even need to do rituals anymore. Why? Because your intent is linked outside of the five-dimensional multiverse that we live in. The intent is now linked with Source, which exists outside of that. So when you place your intention into the quantum wave function, it finds a pathway for most effective manifestation just off the intent. So a Universe B being who is linked with Source no longer ever needs to do ritual anymore. They just are constantly doing it just from their intentions. So you say, I want something, whatever that thing is that you want, the intent is out, it's going into the quantum wave function, and now very complex rituals are manifesting around you, manifesting what it is that you want. So it's complete opposite of Universe A rituals, where you got to have a book, you got to have all this other stuff, and you got to do all these different types of things, and you got to do these steps to get an outcome. And those in Universe A rituals are not permanent either. You have to keep feeding them to keep them alive and to keep them going. Okay, but Universe B is the complete opposite. You do rituals just from intent, and they're permanent. They literally will last forever, if that's what your intent is, if you want it to last forever. So that's it. That's the power. Okay, that is literally the power of Universe B. And obviously, being linked with Source, you're in control of the multiverse now. So that means nothing can stop you. Really, nothing can. I mean, if you're linked with Source and you have crossed the abyss with Karanzan successfully, and then you've worked past Setheriel, Gagil, and Thamiel, now you're somebody who completely understands reality, or is at least on the path of complete understanding and complete wisdom. And since you're linked with evolution, you just keep getting more information, keep getting more knowledge, more understanding, more wisdom as time goes on. And if anything tries to stop you, your intent is linked, into the multiverse. So whatever tries to stop you can't be successful, because obviously, unless you want it to be stopped, then you can't be stopped, because that's not your intent. So that's how powerful it is. And there's not a lot of people that have achieved that. There's really not. Most magicians have failed the crossing of the abyss. And this is just a fact. Okay? And it's all because of the false information of the tree. That's literally the reason why. So the more people that actually successfully cross the abyss and overcome Karanzan and get to Thamiel, the more this inverted multiverse collapses and burns down. And that's exactly why you're seeing what's going on in our today's society with Israel. Okay, and I've been talking about Amalek. You know, if you don't know what Amalek's about, look it up. I've been talking about it before any of this has been going on. I've been talking about this like 2-3 months ago. And now you're seeing what's happening go down in Israel. Amalek is the archetype of the enemy of the Israeli Jews. It's just what's documented in history. And I've been talking about setting Amalek free in a ritual that I performed with a high-level initiate brother of mine. And we set Amalek free. I even have the video on my YouTube channel. I talk about it, called Major Ritual Done in DC. And now you're seeing it actually manifest. So, you know, follow it up. You can study it. You can see that it's actually taking manifestation. And once again, that's what I'm saying. The more people that actually do this successfully, the more this inverted multiverse burns down, and the more that source's new multiverse can start to manifest. Because obviously the crossing of the abyss in the clip-off is the linking with the source and the permanent change to the energy field into a Universe B being, so that you can always travel into Universe B. You can always travel into the tunnels of Set without being harmed. You can always travel into the clip-off, the Hell Realms, without being harmed. Matter of fact, you like hanging out in them because they give you powers. And then you can travel to Universe A as well. Bring Universe B into Universe A and do what you like there. Okay? So yeah, I think this video is definitely long enough. Literally, when I started the video, it was like bright out, and now it's gotten dark as I've been doing it. I definitely feel like I've shared a lot of information on this video. A lot of it's going to be kind of hard to wrap your head around, so it may take a couple watches to really understand it, and you know, you may have to listen to it a couple times, but you know, once again, this is very valuable information. I think it can offer a lot of value, so definitely make sure that you look into that and try your best to be receptive to it, and you know, let the information that I'm sharing show you what you need to know right now, because that's how the universe communicates. You know, you listen to something and then you look around you and see if it shows up in your life. See if the universe confirms some of the things that I'm talking about. Okay? But yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you guys enjoyed this video, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that thumbs up. Definitely hit the subscribe button, because I love to see my subscribers shoot through the roof. Hit the notification bell, because I post videos as often as I can. And I would definitely recommend checking out my Patreon, which is in the drop down of this description. So you just click that little drop down, and it's the very first link at the top. On my Patreon, I have exclusive content where I literally break down all of Kabbalah, all the spheres, giving you the associations, things connected to them, spirits associated with them, and my own personal experience having worked through the sphere myself and initiated into it, okay, which is very valuable information. Once again, Kabbalah is based on a very ancient system, and when you understand it, then you start to understand the process of spiritual evolution that every human has to go through to reach their highest potential. There's literally a roadmap, okay, and you know, you can do this. If you know what you're doing and you jump into the system, you can complete it within a 3-year time frame, which completely changes your life. But you want to know what you're getting yourself into, because it is not a walk in the park. It is definitely challenging. Some people are not ready to go down that road, and some are. So studying it, understanding what it's about, how it works, is going to be very valuable for anybody. So once again, on my Patreon, I talk about stuff in that nature. Then I have practices, real occult practices that I perform on camera, and I teach you how to perform yourself. And I'm going to be uploading a whole course, literally this coming up month, that is step-by-step practices showing you how to gain occult power, increasing your energy field, okay? Increasing, I mean, yeah, that's honestly the best way I can explain it, increasing your energy field. Step-by-step practices that are going to utilize certain types of tools that can also hold energy. So it's going to lead into you being able to perform low magic, where you can perform a spell, and I'm going to be teaching that as well once the steps are done, on how to perform a spell so you can actually do your first magic, and you can see how that science really works. And I'm going to teach you how to do it in its most effective way. And then leading up, after I release all these courses, or I don't want to say actually all these courses, all these videos that are going to be based around that course of developing power, then I'm going to be releasing another course which is going to teach you how to initiate yourself into the clip-off and the tunnels of Set in its most proper form so that you do it successfully, right? Like, you could initiate right now. I mean, there's sources out there you could go to, you could buy a book, but I want to make sure you have everything you need getting into that experience so you don't lose yourself on the journey, or so that you don't get lost or fail, okay? Because it's happened to a lot of occultists. It's just a fact. So that's on my Patreon. Once again, the link is the top link in the description. In order to gain access to the exclusive content, you have to at least be a Tier 2 member. In order to be a Tier 2, it costs $9.95, and that comes out every month. It is a subscription type of plan. And if you do the math, that literally will come out to less than $1 a day as well. So there really is no reason why you shouldn't be able to afford that with the value that I have on there. And that is a fact from me to you, okay? Promise that. Tons of valuable content on there. As you go up in tiers, the benefits increase. Definitely make sure you look into that as well. I have 4 tiers altogether. So the highest tier has the best benefits. It's an actual service that I perform for you that changes your energy body. So I actually attune in this service, I attune your energy body to get into Universe B. So I'm changing your energy body because, remember, I'm a Universe B being. So my daemon, my, you could say, remote viewing body, is programmed with my energy field. So if I can place that in you, then it starts to change your energy field to be more receptive. And instead of giving energy off to chaos, fueling chaos around you, making your life more hectic, it reverses it, turns you into more of a Universe B being, like my daemon, like my remote viewing body, like me, and then you can start feeding off of chaos and using it to empower your spiritual evolution. Okay, using it to empower whatever it is that you're trying to do in regards to low magic, or trying to achieve source, which is high magic. Okay, I program the ritual to get you into a different energetic state so that you're more prepped to gain power, and that you're also more inclined and prepped to walk down the path of your highest potential. Okay, so that's going to be for my Tier 4, highest tier. I have all their names mentioned below that Patreon link. So huge shout out to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Okay, next shout out I'd like to give is to all my Patreon members. I appreciate all of you for taking your knowledge and your practices to that next level. And then a third shout out to all of my YouTube subscribers. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Okay. Now the second link below is going to take you to a place where you can book a tarot card reading with me. Basically, I give you a very in-depth subjective reading. And what I do is I'm able to locate where you are on the tree of life. So I've done over 50 readings so far, and I've literally been able to pinpoint every single reading to see where people are located at on their spiritual journey in regards to Kabbalah. So I can literally pinpoint you where your spirit is, okay, and what to expect moving in the future. So that's what's unique about the reading. I do a present, near future, and long-term future card. And I do the reading on my own time in my own space, so you can book it for a certain time. I'll see the time that the reading is booked for. I'll do the reading like by myself. I don't do it face to face. I don't do it on the phone because I really like to get in the zone. It's just more comfortable for me. And then when I'm done, I pull out the phone and I record the entire breakdown of your full reading, and then I send it over to you through WhatsApp, and then all I request is your personal and honest feedback from there, and then that's it. And so far, every single reading has been absolutely great feedback. It's really cool doing the readings. I've been able to learn a lot from it too, and seeing where people are located and things in that nature. So I love doing it as well. But yeah, once again, that's going to be in the second link below. So other than that, I'm going to wrap it up here. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day or night, wherever you are, and I will see you on the next video. Peace. Oh, there goes the light. That's so funny.